This time of year, when the sky darkens early and clouds stack up in thick western swells, I see therein a mountain range I once knew. The sniper, we will come to learn, had a mount for his gun in the trunk of his car. The trunk of his car, a small terrain of roughened upholstery, the gun at rest there, those beveled edges along the muzzle, the boredom of waiting, his fingernails scraping up curls of grime, flicking them off, sun in a beam through the punched-out lock, reaching a summit, casting its curves. Let me come back, though, to the matter at hand. When the sky darkens and clouds rise like a near mountain range, my neighborhood plunges into a valley, makes of itself one of the small, snug towns I loved as a child in New England. I'd like you to believe, as I wanted to believe, that I actually lived as a child in New England, for I felt such familiarity when visiting, as if I'd found a home I hadn't known I'd lost, in Great Barrington, East Hardwick, at our friend's small farm in Clarksville, New Hampshire, way up near the Canadian border. What it is what else it is. Not just that this afternoon's thick boulder clouds resemble the mountains I loved as a child, but that the one scene collapses in on the other. Time reworks and folds together, and I live in both places. What it is what else it is. For this reason, I am often startled by the simplest gestures of things. A leaf, scratching along sideways, moves as a crab does, so much so that the animal's likeness comes powerfully in, and the shock of seeing a crab on the sidewalk trumps reason. And though I tell myself it's fall, leaves dry, scratch, and blow, not crabs, I'm jittery walking down the street. Not frightened exactly, I can't say afraid, but always the scene I'm in breaks open and floods. The stuff of an elsewhere comes in, as when, among the dried speckled shells of crabs this summer, a snowball rolled oceanward before returning itself to a clump of sea foam. The flap of an awning blows in wind, and it's a low-flying bird's wing. The dark underside of a mushroom's gills, grown tiered and up-curved after rain, makes a tiny Sydney opera house. Right there, hillside of the reservoir, Australia, just a few blocks from home. I mean to say, too, that it's not all jittery, these exchanges. I remember seeing at my uncle's house a cat's brain, preserved, and how the brain's topography slid into more. A crush of continents ribboning up, river valleys gone to inclines, post-glacial, scoured and jarred. And how, standing in front of the pen and ink drawings of neurons, those cells were stretching, wavering blooms, tributaries, sidewalk cracks. Things pair up and go forth. When I am clear enough to catch it, it's the motion of Bach's Prelude 14, the sense of it all going on at once, one voice seeding, always the next swell, unending, the swell outspinning the strands of sound buoyant, a weave tightened and cinched like the lip of a purse until the last tilt and the pucker of folds lets the gold go. And my husband's sure fingers are cresting the sound as they have moved over all that I am and all I am overrun by. I came across this a while ago. In music, the distance and the nearness of space, the limitless and the limited, are all together in one gentle unity that is a comfort and a benefaction to the soul. The space a comfort, a benefaction. And what in the soft air, the chalk blue of the blue spruce, the sky orange and pink just the other morning as I took the garbage out, what ferried me past my fear? What brought me instead to my old summer job as a coffee vendor, Lower Manhattan, awake before dawn on Avenue C, the junkies cooled off, the Bowery wide and dank and mine to share with the bakery trucks, the newspaper trucks, just a few of us going out and a few coming home.